I'm sure you've heard of the Conjuring House before. A quick internet search will show that paranormal enthusiasts frequently visit the place, and some even hold seances there.
I'm back in the Conjuring House again. This is like the third or fourth time that I've turned on my camera in this house to make a video, to make a paranormal investigation, but this time it's completely different.
So suddenly Seth is feeling a little bit vulnerable to the energies that have been affecting us. So right now, Megan's going to kind of cleanse him from anything.
This is the Annabelle doll. Annabelle, it's nice to meet you. My name's Kelsey.
Communicating to? Oh, cursed. Okay, so are we communicating with the entity?
Waiting.
So for our learning session together this time, I'd like to share this clip from my recent Zoom session with Father Winston. I asked him whether it's a good idea for someone to keep a bunch of previously cursed objects all together in one place, like a museum, even after they've been exorcised and blessed.
The objects themselves, especially if these have been used like voodoo dolls, of objects that have been intimately connected with the doing of evil, the evil spirits have a certain kind of connection to it. Even if it has been exorcised, there is a certain kind of affinity to the object. And therefore, the evil spirits are attracted to it. And the only way really to destroy the connection of the evil spirits with these objects is to deface or destroy it, so that it's no longer. Now, we are made in the image and likeness of God. This is very clear for us. And the devil corrupts that image and likeness. Whereas to certain material objects, the intention is really to manifest the evil in that. And therefore, it's corrupted. And the only way to remove it is to destroy it. Destroy it, break it, burn it. That's the only way to really remove that image or the sigil. We use the word, the sigil, the imprint of the evil one on the object. So when somebody keeps these things, you're really attracting evil spirits. So whether that be the evil eye that is now very common here in the Philippines, suddenly you have the evil eye charm that came from the Middle East and transferred to here in the Philippines. Why? Because, well, we have many OFW Filipinos, and they have been exposed to these charms in the Middle East, thinking that this is for protection, and then they bring it and give it to their children in the form of jewelries, and it became now quite a trend here in the Philippines that suddenly you see young people wearing this kind of bracelets of the evil eye. I don't know if that is common in your place, this evil eye thing. No? So people believe that they protect, etc., out of ignorance. And even if this is what I was telling you from the very beginning, even if you tell them that is not good, it is not permitted by the church, it's superstitious, it's against the first commandment, they still use it, thinking that they will not lose anything. You remove it, you tell them, and they will remove it when they see you, but then once they go home, or they'll put it back again. So stubbornness, that's stubbornness. And then they cry if something happens to them. I didn't know that this sometimes I as a human being get irritated when I say, we were already told you not to use these things. Why do you continue to using them? Because I did not know that. Sometimes you want to say, that's what did you get? for not listening. That's what you get for stubbornness. That's what you get for disobedience.
And another question I asked him is, how do we properly get rid of cursed objects?
God is the creator. This is a very important thing. God is the creator, and therefore nothing material is really evil. No, there is no naturally occurring cursed object, because God is the creator. So there are no evil trees, there are no evil mountains, there are no evil forests, etc., etc., etc. Stones, whatever, because everything is made by the creator himself. Everything is good. However, because sin entered the world, and God has given us human beings in the book of Genesis, everything was given to human beings. Now, human beings, because of the fall, actually, like by default, gave to the devil, they surrendered to the devil what God has naturally given to man. And therefore, in this case, cursed objects are always connected with the sinfulness of human beings. So, objects, instead of being dedicated to Almighty God, is now being dedicated or offered to evil spirits. And in so doing, by doing so, the surrender of man, of these objects given by God to an evil spirit, is what we call profanation. You profaned it. It was sacred, but then it became profaned because man offered this object to the evil spirits. So this is how you now have cursed objects. Objects that have been offered to evil spirits. It can be in any form. It can be objects, it can be things, gadgets, for example. It can be books, it can be our homes, our land, it can be our animals, anything. So, how do you dispose of them? How do you dispose of them? First and foremost, we call them, we use the word exorcism. Exorcism, in the understanding of the Catholic Church, is you remove the power of the evil one on these objects. You remove their consecration to the evil one by the power of Almighty God. That is why in the Catholic Church, we have exorcisms of objects. We do exorcism of salt, water, oil, candles, incense, these things that we use for devotion to God. We exercise first a clear understanding that these objects no longer belong to the evil one, but they belong to God. So there is this formal manifestation or declaration that this particular object no longer belongs or to the evil one. So that's why we do the exorcism first before we do the blessing. So that is how we as Catholics make use of these objects. Now the question is, what else do we need to do? Well, if they cannot be exorcised, basically everything can be exorcised. Why? Because everything belongs to God. So you can exercise everything. And that is why we can bless everything. So if they can be exercised, they can also be blessed and offered back to God. Just like human beings, before we are baptized, we are exercised. We reject Satan and all his works and all his empty promises, and we consecrate ourselves to God. And then we are baptized, and we belong to God. That's how things are. Now, other objects, uh, what do we do with them? If some of them we like really occult objects that have been dedicated to evil spirits, let's say like charms with inscriptions that belong to the devil. So these things are really in themselves already dedicated to the evil one. The only thing left is to destroy them, exercise and destroy. You cannot bless them in the sense that use them for for good. No, you can no longer do that, because in those emblems are the names of the dedication to the evil one. So these are your typical charms that are used in occult rituals. So they have to be destroyed. Some objects have to be destroyed, uh, and buried or thrown into a living body of water like lakes, rivers, seas, or oceans, so that they cannot be used anymore by human beings.
And you know how parents will buy these spirit boards and let their kids play with them without realizing they're putting their children at serious risk. They just think it's another harmless board game.
Well, some people just see these things as toy games because this was manufactured by a toy company, and so they treat this as uh, as a game. But in reality, you know, it has already been it's shown in many instances, not only by Catholics but also by non-Catholic Christians, that the Ouija board is a board of for divination, and that the spirits being called upon are real ones, and therefore it enters into the crossing over, as if you now have a portal, as it were, of an instrument by which you call on evil spirits to enter your world. And it's no longer just simply the Ouija board, Clive. There are also other things now, games, for example. There is um, a theologian, a late theologian by the name of Francesco Scarscala, who come to the Philippines often for the Philippine Association of Catholic Exorcists, and gives us lectures of his research regarding instruments of divination that are already in the in the in available for people. It's no longer just simply the Ouija board, but there are other things there, games, the apps that you have, etc. Even anime shows, uh, even movies. So he's showing us how this is being used to make people interested in the occult. And in so doing, you bring in the spirits to your world. That's how it is. So is it very dangerous? Yes, very dangerous. I mean, not only coming from me as an exorcist, Father Winston, but perhaps even Father Chad Ripperger, Father Monsignor Stephen Rossetti, and all the other priests that you have interviewed warn about this, that this is really very, very dangerous because it's a calling. You invoke evil spirits to come into your world to do your bidding, thinking that they will do your bidding. That is, I think, that is what is so interesting to many people. They think that when they call on the spirits, let's say they call on the spirit of a dead ancestor, or they call on a spirit of a dead friend, or they call a spirit of a national hero. They think that these are benign spirits because they're calling on souls. But in reality, they're calling on demons. And they think that by invoking the demons, using the spirit of the glass, this Ouija board uh, uh, plane that they call, how do they send the spirit back once they convoke them? Well, they just turn the plane upside down. That's how they think it. But that's not how it is. Once you call them, they won't go back just like that. It's just like opening your third eye. You think that you can close it by getting another ritual to close it. That's not how it happens. That's not how things work in the spiritual world. In the spirit world of evil spirits, they have their own rules, and they do not work according to the rules of human beings.
That will be all for the video this time. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us, and hopefully all of you have learned something useful from this video. And remember, if you have any suggestion or feedback, please don't hesitate to let us know in the comments below. And if you like what we do and you'd like to support us, I left the link to our PayPal donation in the description box below, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your continuous support, contributions, and prayers. And until the next one, thanks again for watching, and may God bless you.